Hey guys, I hope you have a great day. We have a lot of funny things to talk about today, some disappointing things and some other impressive things. And we will try to explain what the HC double hockey stick, what the hell is going on with the crypto market, with the stock market, because the crypto market is diving, is crashing, the stock market is diving as well. One is following the other. Bitcoin dropped around 100 billion of its market cap in like a couple of days. Fed has some problems with insider trading. On the other hand, Christine Lagarde is convicted. Everything is going on this week. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. And we have even more things like China FUD, the Evergrande Fiasco. It's a fiesta. Let's see what's going on. Oh, and despite all that, another funny thing, the El Salvador president changed his bio to Dictador de El Salvador, the dictator of El Salvador. And at the same time, he bought the dip. He bought the dip again, another 150 coins on the El Salvador stash. Let's see. So let's start with this news that just came in. Infrastructure bill brings Cardano founder to Washington. That was really interesting. So basically, Charles Hoskinson will go to Washington for 2 days, and he will try to educate government, legislators and regulators or administrators about everything crypto. That was actually really interesting. They're organizing this 2-day educational seminar for government leaders at the staff. That was interesting. I hope they do something with that and the crypto industry gets something out of this, because it would be really disappointing if they pass legislations and regulations that actually hurt innovation and hurt the crypto market in the US. Because believe it or not, we gotta accept this. US is now a big part of the crypto market in general, almost like China. You may have also heard about the China Evergrande debt crisis that happened with this big real estate firm and the big debts that it has. But Tether, which it poses some risk to Tether, said that it doesn't hold short-term debt from the struggling developer. And I say that because many people feared that Tether might have short-term debts from the struggling developer, from basically Evergrande, but it says that it does not. Should we trust Tether? I'll leave that up to you. No one knows. Next up, we have a Bloomberg article saying that the global market rout infects crypto. That's kind of true. I think the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq and the market in general, the stock market in general, short-term, yes, it might infect crypto, it might push it down a bit, but long term, the crypto market will somehow find a way and rise up amid all the adversity, as we know that it does throughout time. One of the interesting things that it says here is that although Bitcoin doesn't always trade in tandem, basically like the financial markets, its correlation on a 30-day basis on futures on the Nasdaq 100 has been consistently positive since February last year. Basically, they mimic each other, but that won't be a problem in the long run, as we know, because the crypto market tends to track these things, but over time it goes away. And the other thing that we talked about earlier, Nayib Bukele bought 150 coins, 150 bitcoins, and now it holds 700 in total. Now let's go ahead and have a quick look at the Bitcoin chart. On this Bitcoin chart, what we expected was a 5% dip. We were moving around the 6% below when we started September, but then we dipped even more. What I did was buy here. I bought a little bit on this recovery. I didn't expect us to go back down on 20th of September. As I told you in my last video, I expected more sideways or an upper move from 20th of September, but this didn't happen. It's okay, happens. No one can predict the future. And what I did was buy here, of course, at 44,000. I got some buys. We can't see the wicks, but it got as low as like 43,500, somewhere around there. We got some wings down there, but we closed around this price range. And I bought here, I bought it at 44,000. As I told you in a video that I have done, when that dip happened, I was outside. I was actually in the supermarket and I was buying with my phone there. Thank God I had some BUSD inside my exchange. Anyway, I expected this recovery to go sideways, but we saw more weakness now, and of course it's because of the stock market, because general rout that we have seen. And I bought even more. I bought a little bit at 44,000 and 43,100. Now we're around 43,600. I bought at 43,102, and if it drops below 42,500, I will buy even more. I will go ahead and buy even more. At this point, I buy every day that goes by. So that's my plan for Bitcoin. Ethereum, I DCA'd a bit into Ethereum as well. Let's go ahead and see the markets since I talked about Bitcoin. I DCA'd a bit into Ethereum at 3,300, 3,250, and then I bought even more at 3,000, basically 3,000. I bought a little bit at 2,952. So now I'm staying around here. If it drops below and goes back to like 2650, I will buy even more. For now, I stopped buying Ethereum because I have a really big position on Ethereum, even bigger than my Bitcoin position. But yeah, I stopped buying Ethereum for now, and that's basically what I did. Now Cardano. Cardano is another one of my big investments. I think it's basically the same with Bitcoin for my portfolio right now, the same percentage. Ethereum is higher, and then Cardano and Bitcoin basically at the same place. Cardano, I didn't buy it. It dropped as low as $2. It was kind of interesting seeing it there. We know that Cardano has those big cycles where it goes up and down. It finds some new range and it goes up and down. Maybe it is like $2 to $2.14 for now, or $2 to $2.50 for now. And you can capitalize on that. You can buy. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's what I would do, because it tends to explode after those cycles. It tends to explode after it finds those ranges. It goes up and down in those ranges, and you can maybe buy every time it goes to $2.10, to $2, to $2.15, because we know from history, as an indication, having history as an indication that long term it will break and explode from those small price ranges that it has throughout time. If it drops below 2, I will go ahead and buy a little bit of Cardano as well. I'm not that big of a fan of Cardano. Of course, I have a position on Cardano. I'm not that big of a fan of Cardano though, but I kind of like it for the investment side of it, for the returns that it will give me throughout time. So that's my plan. The lowest price that I expect from it is like at 167, 164. It has a support line there. And I'm excited about buying ADA at 160 if it goes down there, because it has been so long since the last time it got there. So let's move on. Christine Lagarde, that was another interesting thing. Let's hear what she says here.
Cryptos are highly speculative assets that claim their fame as currency, possibly, but they're not. They are not. I think we have to distinguish between cryptos that are those highly speculative, suspicious occasionally, and high intensity in terms of energy consumption assets, but they're not a currency.
So, regarding crypto as a currency, regarding crypto as an exchange, I don't think it will be the best form of exchange. We know that, because mostly the big coins out there, Bitcoin, Ethereum, are kinda deflationary at this point. And it's good for a currency of exchange for it to be inflationary. So that motivates people to spend it. If you have a deflationary currency of exchange, it's not a currency of exchange, because more people want to hold it even more, to hold it longer. It doesn't make people want to spend it. So it's not the best kind of currency to have. The other interesting thing that she said was she pulled the excuse about the energy consumption of Bitcoin, which it's not kinda true. It's not so true. And the other interesting thing that she said was that crypto is suspicious occasionally, and I found that really impressive and interesting, because all these guys from the IMF, all these guys from US, basically the bigger guys from the ACC, on the past would call crypto and Bitcoin something that only criminals would use. But now we have upgraded to suspicious occasionally. I found that pretty funny. And because if we remind ourselves that many people who are criminals use cash, many people who are criminals use the internet as well. That doesn't make everyone on the internet criminal. That doesn't make everyone who's using cash criminal. But I found it funny how we have been upgraded to suspicious occasionally. I found that pretty funny. Anyway, let's move on with the last stories for today. The other interesting thing, which I found funny as well, was that Christine Lagarde was convicted because she was found guilty of criminal charges over massive government payout. Basically, she used taxpayers' money to pay for whatever she was doing, that's a criminal act, in my opinion. The other funny thing as well, this was a funny week in general, was the fact that the Feds in power had some big positions on some of the things that the Fed was investing with the trillions that it was producing, with the trillions that it was printing. And that was pretty funny as well. It's kind of like insider trading. They first took their positions and then they pumped it up with the Fed even more with the printing, which was kind of disgusting in my opinion, but funny as well because these guys are basically the heads of the Fed, and it makes it even more disgusting. Anyway, that's all for today. We talked about everything. We talked about the El Salvador. We talked about the Bitcoin chart, the dip on the crypto market, the dip on the stock market, not so much, but it happened as well. DeFi is still growing throughout time. I think this is good for Ethereum. I think this is good for the crypto market in general. We got around 83 billion locked right now, and it's growing throughout time. You can see it on this chart. We had a small dip here, but it will grind up again and will at last land even higher. Coinbase is holding around 122 billion assets on platform as on the end of March 2021. So I think it holds even more around now. That's obvious. We can say it might be holding like 250, 300 billion more. And that might be the reason why we saw that big sell-off. Many of the big firms, many of the big institutions out there sold paper-handed because of the Evergrande Fiasco. And maybe that's why we see a small weakness right now in the crypto market. But as I told you in my last video, I expect after 20th of September, basically today, good things to happen for the crypto market, and we will grind sideways trade until we get to October, when the bigger moves will happen and will go to the moon slowly but surely. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for watching this video. Why am I so red in this video? Maybe I should lower the saturation. Anyway, thank you guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.